don't worry, we're not talking about OCs today. We're actually talking about Sonic Team's Thirdborn. First came Sonic, then came Rystar, and then Knights. If you've never heard of Knights, but you're familiar with the Sonic series, the character might look a little familiar, cause Knights makes cameos in a few Sonic games, and by a few, I mean most of them. Knights was also featured as a playable character in Sega Superstars Tennis and Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed, after previously being relegated to Flag Holder.
Sonic Team, it's not cool to play favorites with your children.
Who is Knights, though? A fella so full of himself... herself... Oh, okay, that's cool. So full of themselves that their name is spelled entirely in capital letters.
Except for that I for some reason?
Us peasants, of course, just capitalize the first letters of our names, but that's because Knights treads on a level far above what we could even dream to attain. According to the Wiki page,
exposition!
Side note, when I was reading this for the first time, I swore I saw something move in this Knights image, so I stared deep into Knight's eyes, and it scared the shit out of me when it blinked. Alright, I think I have all the information I need to start up the game, so let's jump right into the first level, and... that sure stimulates the old sight spheres. Oh, I'm finally free from the trials and tribulations of everyday life. Now I can just kick back, relax, and... okay, so my dreams begin with me getting mugged. That's stupid. I can get mugged in real life. I reserve my dreams for things that I can't do in real life, like flying and having self-esteem. Alright, well, first order of business. Time to take back what's mine. Knights, the Wiki page said that we're friends, so go teach those heathens a lesson. Well, I've been absorbed. The least you could do is ask a guy before pulling something like that. The last person who went around absorbing people without asking had to answer to Goku, and I don't think you want that. Well, putting that whole absorption thing aside, after you've joined with Knights, your control switches from a full 3D to 2D, where if you press down a few of the buttons on your controller, you do this nifty little drill dash, but only while the bar in the bottom left corner has juice in it. Hold up, wait, doesn't that seem a little bit familiar? Aside from the drill dash move, if you guide Knights in a small circle, you'll perform a paraloop, which gives nearby items the suck, which can help you increase your link pretty darn fast. At first, I was under the impression that the link meter was your ticket to progressing through the level, cause occasionally this number here would change while I was collecting things and increasing this number here. But after some snooping on the Wiki page...
thank you so much for existing, Wiki page.
Only the blue spheres actually increase this number. Blue spheres, huh? After collecting enough blue spheres, or blue chips, whatever you want to call them, you're able to square up with this... Ultra Beast? And if you've truly got enough of the good stuff, it'll explode, freeing one of your idea orbs. Freeing an orb activates bonus time. This is when you're going to want to make some crazy links, collect a ton of the now golden blue spheres, and then return to the idea gazebo before time runs out. You technically don't have to collect anything and you can just rush back to the hut, but trust me, the former is in your best interest. You see, once you get back, the game grades you. If you thought it was a lot to be graded after every single Sonic level, get a load of this. You get graded 4 times per level. Once the first idea orb returns to its rightful resting place, there are still 3 more to collect, so the fun ain't over yet. The game spits you back into the same course, but luckily for us, we get to go down an entirely different route, which keeps the levels from feeling repetitive. Every time you collect an idea orb, you're set on a different path, which has different things on it. And after you collect your last orb, the game then totals up your grades, and bam! If it's not at least a C, I recommend you try the level again. This game sounds just like my parents. The thought of getting 1 grade back is usually enough to turn me into a quivering ball of pure anxiety. I'd rather face my worst nightmares than get graded that many times in quick succession. Oh good, it's this dream again. I would like to wake up now, please. Keep smashing it until you reach the end of the corridor. What do you mean I should rephrase that? This one? I'm gonna be real with you, I couldn't figure this out by myself because I was pretty awestruck just by how weird it was. Though you'd think I'd be used to weird shit by now, since it's pretty much the name of the game. You gotta wait for the mice to get lit before you attack them, thus resulting in the cat taking damage. My main problem with this one is that it doesn't really seem like this even hurts the boss, but sure enough, after a few minutes, the boss just... Oh god, Knights, look out! This is basically Knight's Shadow the Hedgehog. Nothing much to say about this one, you just flail around and then it ends. Here, try these. That's better. Also, is it just me, or did Garrulous strike a deal with Totino's years before Sega did? Now that you've taken down these 3 clowns, or I guess these 2 clowns and demonic feline, you're ready to go up against the big bad... Oh wait, I forgot there were 2 characters in this game. Right, we missed half the game, my bad. I didn't really go into this before because I forgot, but when you start the game you got a choice to make, Elliot or Claris. You can pick either one and come back to the other later, or you could bounce back and forth between the 2. The levels themselves all play by the same rules, except there's something unique to help each one stand out. Elliot starts off in Splash Garden, which has this really neat 3D underwater segment. Frozen Bell has Knights transform into a sled for Elliot to ride on, and Stick Canyon, well, it has what I can only describe as a medieval torture device disguised as a roller coaster. Knights doesn't seem to mind it, but I reverted back to Elliot during the ride, and I think the poor kid experienced true terror for the first time in his life. Clara starts off in Spring Valley, which has no unique gimmicks and is probably the best level to play if you want to get a feel for how the game plays. Mystical Forest has these giant vines that you bounce off to go to different areas, and it also has this really annoying block maze-esque thing. You can just leave it, but it really broke the flow that I'd managed to build up throughout the rest of the level. And lastly, we've got Soft Museum. That's definitely the weirdest name for a level I've ever heard. This one's really rad though. If you get close to the ceiling or the floor, the level distorts almost like you're displacing water in a cup, and if you ram into the structures, you bounce off of them. They even do this really neat 3D section using the bouncing structures to change Knight's direction. And don't even get me started on the indoor portion of the level. It's probably my favorite level in the game in terms of aesthetics. After that, both characters move on to Twin Seeds, and again, weird level name. Oh, and if you didn't get at least C ranks on every level before this, you need to go back and replay the other levels, or else this one doesn't unlock. That wasn't just a throwaway joke, I was serious. Right off the bat, you'll notice that you don't even play as Knights in this one, just Claris or Elliot, suddenly rocking the same powers as Knights.
Powers granted to you after throwing yourself into the abyss.
And instead of returning to the Idea Shack this time, you just travel around the entire level, destroying Ultra Beasts as you do until you reach the end where you find Knights trapped. After a small intervention from the other character, the trio is reunited, and they set off to face the ultimate nightmare. As a team. But before we get to that, Claris actually has her own bosses as well. Scary Flying Quillfish. This has got to be the easiest one so far, aside from Riala. You just need to give him a good few bops to the noggin, and then he retreats. Scary Swimming Regular Fish. Yeah, that feels a bit like a downgrade to me, but whatever. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, why all the fish? Where's Big the Cat when you need him? Yeah, I really never thought I'd say that either. Also, come to think of it, the humans kind of look a little like fish too. You must use the slightly more handsome fish to defeat the ugly fish. Grasp them tightly, then release. Orange Knights? Also known as Jackal, apparently. It bothers me that Wiseman made 3 jester-looking creatures, and then for the rest of them, he just threw darts at an idea board. Consistency is key. This one is one of the most annoying fights in the game, in my opinion. You gotta work really hard to get the chance to attack the guy, but then once you land the first hit, as long as you keep juggling him, the fight won't last much longer after that. Well, one of us is gonna have to go home and change. Black Doom? Alright, well they're not that similar looking, but look at the little details. Weird head, giant cloak, cool shoulder pads, no legs, weird jewelry, long scarf thing, floating disembodied limbs with eyes on them. I wonder if they took inspiration from old Wiseman here. As for the fight itself... Hold on a second. Isn't this just the Time Eater fight? 2 versions of the same character chasing your opponent down a corridor, switching to the other character every so often? I guess Generations was about time travel, right? So maybe modern Sonic Team and classic Sonic Team met up and compared notes. This one's fairly simple as final bosses go. All you gotta do is get to him, destroy his shield, and then smash your glowing hedgehog head... rad jester cap into him, all the while revisiting some really neat landscapes, might I add, and once he's had enough, the nightmare is finally over. After After this, Clarice and Elliot wake up and return to their dull lives, dismissing all the events they witnessed as mere dreams. The end. Or maybe not. There's something about them gaining the courage they needed from their hour-long adventure with knights to accomplish what they were afraid of to do earlier. But the game isn't exactly story-driven. It feels, honestly, more like an arcade game because of how short and easy it is. That and the main draw of replaying levels, as far as I can tell, is to learn the best route through the level to rack up as many points as possible. There's even this nice little leaderboard at the end there. Just take pride in the fact that no matter how bad you are at this game, you can't possibly be as bad as Amy. Don't quit your day job, Amy. Or should I say, your night job. Listen, you know I had to squeeze at least one in. It's what I do. Aside from the main game, there's this little side objective you can do as well, where you mess around with these little angel-looking dudes, the Nightopians. You can find them hanging around the levels, and you can hatch them from these eggs. And I guess they're a little bit like Chow? Of course, this game came out before Sonic Adventure, so they're kind of like Chow Garden Beta. The only reason I noticed you could interact with these things at all is because I tried paralooping one of them on a whim and it got sucked into the void, never to be seen again. I felt kind of bad, but then they started getting in my way, so I wasn't responsible for the many Nightopian lives lost during my playthrough. Apparently, you can even make them evolve by shooting an enemy at them, but I had to Google a lot of this stuff and I didn't really find that much information. But regardless, I really wasn't interested in pursuing it, so that's that. And that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about concerning Nights into Dreams. It's a quirky little game that you can pick up on Steam for just $7.99. If you want to check the game out, I would really recommend looking at this version, as the HD upgrade is really nice. And if you have the hankering for some Sega Saturn goodness, you could always select Sega Saturn Dreams to experience the game with a look and sound more closely resembling the original. The only reason I decided to look at this game, funny enough, was because of the Sonic Roboblast 2 playthrough I did with my buddies, which you can watch by clicking the card up there. The special stages in that game are pretty much just Nights into Dreams, except they control a bit better in my opinion. After this adventure, Nights took a backseat to Sonic and made many appearances in games that weren't his own. It wouldn't be until December of 2007, 11 years after the original game released, that Nights would return to the spotlight in his very own sequel, Nights: Journey of Dreams for the Nintendo Wii. And boy, that one was a bit different.
Phew, so far so good. Hey, that's...
That blue hedgehog again, of all places.
I found you, faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake hedgehog around here. You're comparing yourself to me? Huh? You're not even good enough to be
I'll
my
make you eat those words.
Hey! Let me go!
Well, I wouldn't place this game on, like, my favorites shelf, but honestly, it's got a charm to it, and I respect that. But anyway, it really looks like this dream's coming to an end, and... I'm really wondering what this new day will bring. Oh god, no. Well, it took a long time to edit, but I am finally done editing and uploading and making sure this video's all done, as you can see, because you just watched it. Funny how that works. But I have to say, this is probably some of the most fun I've had making a video lately, and I'm really hoping you enjoyed it, because I did have more things in mind to continue this little series. As you can see by the little Billy Hatcher thing at the end, I'm very curious about actually playing that game. I think I've played like the first level, and that's it. But anyway, if you liked this video, I know it's very different, please make sure to let me know down in the comments, and, you know, maybe even shoot me some constructive criticism. What could I do better? Like, I've never really done this before, so, I'd like to improve, hopefully. But anyway, I actually do have some, like, bloopers to show you, so those will be on right in a sec after I put up the sponsors on screen. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring. You know the drill about that. Perks in the description. Shoutouts at the end of every video and stream. All that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Well, it looks like this journey. It seems like this dream is coming to an end. Don't know the lines. Well, it looks like this dream is coming to an end. Well, it looks like this dream is coming to an end. What is this? What am I doing? Well, it looks like this dream's coming to an end. Well, it looks like this journey... Why journey? I'm not lit. Don't stop! Believe it! Start this audio file over.